Hi, I'm Mihir Joshi and welcome back to the MJ Show. Now the guest that I have on the show today is someone whom I've wanted to have in my radio studio to talk years back when I was doing radio. We've spoken on the phone a couple of times, but unfortunately we didn't get a chance to meet. But he said just a little while ago it was meant to be that we should meet here on the MJ Show, and I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. His band was formed in 1988. So yeah, they've been around for a very, very long time and they're going strong as ever, in fact stronger than ever now, because they're playing gigs all across the world. And he's got some fantastic songs and I can't wait to find out a lot more about him. I know you guys want to find out a lot more about him too. So let's welcome on the MJ Show the absolutely incredible Palash Sen. Fantastic to have you on the show finally.
Absolutely, like fantastic to be on a show with a guy who's called MJ. Before anything else, it happens to be your birthday today, so many happy returns.
Thank you very, very much.
Very happy birthday. God bless you.
Thank you very, very much.
May this journey of Mihir go on forever and ever.
Let's get into your music. I mean, everybody. I mean, I know in my teenage years, or when I grew up with some of the first few hits which came out in the first album, which was phenomenal. But before we even move into the first album, I want to find out the journey of how you came to becoming a musician and forming Euphoria. How did that happen?
Mihir, this was a journey that was not meant to be. I think it's just happened, and I call it a beautiful mishap.
Wow.
This was really not meant to be. This is not the way my life was supposed to pan out. I think it's everything in life that happens with you is destiny. Yeah. I firmly believe in that. And because, as you just talked about the fact that we are meeting on this show now, and we've been trying to get this show done for many years when you were on radio. Yeah. And we couldn't. Yeah. And so this is the time. Right. So I think this was meant to be because it was meant to be. Yeah. So I'm a 17th generation doctor from
17th generation. Yeah. Okay.
And every Bengali boy and girl worth his or her salt has to sing or dance or write poetry or do something that is creative.
Creative, yeah.
Which was part of my blood also.
Correct.
My first vocation, I must tell you, was not singing; it was acting. I was always an actor.
Okay.
I was always looked upon as an actor.
Okay.
I did a lot of plays when I was in school, and I did a lot of fancy dress competitions. Singing was like ये तो करना ही है, Saying to everybody in the family sings also.
Okay.
So saying to गाते ही हैं. So everybody sings. So I also sing. And because my father and my uncle, they were brilliant singers, I never thought of myself as a singer. I said, see, I can't sing like these guys.
Correct.
So forget about it. I can't sing. I can't get those murkis on. So I forget about it.
Right.
I'm sure lots of people who are watching this program, they must be saying you should listen to yourself and not sung after that. But it's okay. When I was class 8, I never was really into music. So my father just gave me 4 gold records of a man called Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
So I heard the songs, and there was no YouTube and you could not watch the videos. Yeah. But just the way he looked, that's what I wanted to be.
Oh man, yeah.
And it's been years. I just can't be him. I can't be 6 feet tall, and I can't have those great looks, and I can't have that kind of a lovely hair that he used to have. I can't sing like that, and can't have people going crazy about me the way. But that's the way I want it to be. I must tell you this, Mihir, it's been so many years, and I'm one of those blessed few people who's living my dream. Wow, I wrote about it when I was 14.
And you're doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now.
That's so cool.
These are small things that happened with me, and I suddenly realized, I want to be a singer. There's nothing wrong in being a singer. It's great, Correct. And I'm not going to do the Hindi singing, I'm going to do English singing because that's cool.
That's what you wanted to do back then.
Yeah. I still want to do that only. So that was cool.
Yeah.
So I want to be Elvis Presley, and I go to college and I start doing my thing, and I take part in all the competitions. And I must tell you that I don't think there was any competition I didn't win. Okay. The only competition I didn't win was when I sang at IIT Rendezvous, which was won by another very famous friend of mine, Mr. KK. He came first, and he sang Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
Oh wow!
And the second was another singer. I don't know if you remember a guy called Parvez Kadir.
Of course.
Parvez came second.
Wow. Okay.
And I was third.
Because
so I was singing that,
You sang Tutti Frutti.
Yeah, I sang Tutti Frutti. Yeah. And my thing always was to get on stage and rock the mic. It was not only about going and singing, and I think everybody else was trying to really showcase how well they can sing.
Yeah.
And I was actually really going on stage and enjoying myself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I remember, the judges, in fact, they got on stage and they said, we enjoyed Palash's performance, but that's not real singing,
Yeah. Bridge Over Troubled Water is a competition song.
Yeah.
This is have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Rock out on stage. Yeah. I was more interested in the chicks, so I said, fine. Who's going to sing Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Anyway, so that happens, and I just started winning all the competitions, and I just keep doing that, and there's a band that's being formed, and I remember In fact, there's a band that's playing. It was called Night Shift.
Okay.
And I remember the guitarist was somebody who used to accompany me on stage when I used to take part in these competitions. His name was Ashok Shroff.
Okay.
So he came to me. He said, everybody calls me Polly. So Polly, why don't you come over and we just jam one day?
Yeah.
I said, okay, fine. So I go over to the jam pad, and there's a girl who's singing over there. Her name is Rashi Balasubramaniam. I remember everything. So Rashi is singing, and they sing some songs, and then he says, why don't you come and sing something with us?
Yeah,
So at that time, the only 2 or 3 bands I'd heard. I was not really into bands, I was Elvis Presley and Beatles, and whatever else was more rock and roll, Bill Haley and the Comets and stuff like that. So he said, okay, fine. The only band that I'd heard was Deep Purple, Whitesnake, and Rainbow.
Nice.
Now, these are only 3 bands I'd ever heard. So I knew a song by Whitesnake called Come and Get It. So I sang that with these guys, and then after that I sang Highway Star.
Oh, okay.
So when I sang Highway Star, these guys are all looking at me and they're thinking, yaar, isko nikalo, Rashi ko nikal do, isko rakh lete hain band ke andar. Mera bhi intention wahi tha.
Okay.
Rashi, wherever you're watching this, sorry. They asked her to leave the band, and then so asked me to come and join the band. So I joined the band, and I say, okay, fine. Night shift doesn't work for me. They said why? I said, it sounds like a hooker, night shift, So they said, okay, what is your option? So we come up with different names.
Yeah.
There's that and the other, and then Euphoria is settled for. Yeah, so
and that's how Euphoria was made.
That's how Euphoria was made, and we had the band was actually comprising of the Shroff brothers, as I may call them, which was Ashok and Jitti and Ravi, who played the guitars, the drums, and it was more like it was their home band,
Yeah, like a family band.
A family band.
You joined them.
Yeah, so I just joined them, and I think it was a lot of fun because I just thought I got another family. So
very cool. Okay, so I'm going to stop you here, and what I'm going to do is, there's a fantastic document that is there on Euphoria's official site, which is called The Journey. And if you want to know a little bit more about the history of Euphoria, you must check that out because it's a fascinating thing. I'm going to give you a link to that in the info section down here on this video. And before we end this part, we're going to have one song from you. And here's something different. So instead of doing one of your songs, how about a song from one of these guys that you spoke about, your initial idols? An Elvis song or a Beatles song, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, anybody you want. Let's have.
I could sing, I think, everybody's song.
So let's pick a song. Actually, if you look at an Elvis song, it's very likely a song that was done by Chuck Berry or by Little Richard.
I must say this, Mira, I'm not going to play the guitar with it because I wouldn't know how to play the guitar with it.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to sing like Elvis. As I said, I just wanted to be Elvis Presley.
Absolutely.
And as luck would have it, I must just tell you that when Euphoria became famous, and our first gig abroad was in
Graceland.
Yes.
Oh my God, so cool.
It's that's what makes my life so unbelievable. There's lots of, I would say, downs in my life, but the ups have been absolutely. Really, this happened to me, and we land in Memphis, and I go to Graceland, and I was weeping throughout that entire tour,
Man.
The only person I've really idolized besides my parents is Elvis Presley. Nobody else, nothing else.
So let's have an Elvis song.
Okay.
You don't have to play it, just go for it.
It's now or never. Come hold me tight. Kiss me, my darling. Be mine tonight. Tomorrow will be too late. It's now or never. My love won't wait.
All right, we're going to go into part 2 right now with
Do you
Palash.
care about me? Hey, Bhagwan.
Yes, we're going to find out a lot more about Palash Sen right here on the MJ show, and it's going to happen instantly for you. Just click on to part 2 and check it out. Here we go.